What is up, ladies? Leon Trotsky here, bringing you some more Battlefield Bad Company 2. You know how we do. And today, we're not talking about the gameplay. I know everybody likes talking about the gameplay, but sometimes there's more important things than Battlefield Bad Company 2. But we'll get the basic stuff out of the way. We're playing Island Ascent as attacking, obviously. I'm using the M95 with the stupid 4x scope. You see me miss a ton of shots that I should have hit, but it happens to the best of us. I don't run the 4x scope that much anymore, so that's my excuse, basically. And I'm running the Rex as my sidearm, which is a lot of fun, I think. I've really been liking this class M95 with the Rex as my sidearm. But Island Ascent is attacking, and I believe I go something above a 2.0 KD, probably get the ace pin. Whoop-de-whoop. But like I said, I want to talk about something that's besides the gameplay, but still Battlefield related, I suppose. And I guess we could try and make a new series out of this, and my idea behind this is just Battlefield life lessons. It's just lessons that you should use in life that can easily be used on the battlefield. And, you know, I was giving this a lot of thought before I started this video, and this is probably something that similar to what I've wanted to do for a little bit now, you know, just talking about life in general rather than just Battlefield. But I think it's really important to note that a lot of the things in life can also be equated to, you know, similar circumstances on the battlefield. So, you know, I kind of want to make a series of this at a different life lessons that can be acquired and used and things to talk about, you know, that is important in life in general and just how that equates to stuff on the battlefield. So, when I was giving thought about this, you know, when I wanted to start this video, I was thinking, you know, what is one lesson, if I could tell people one thing to live by, one moral, ethical code to live by, what would it be? And, you know, it gives you a lot of that. And I've taken ethics classes, I've taken philosophy classes, I've taken religion classes, and I've studied a lot of different stuff on that, you know, in school. And, you know, you can argue about opinions, about ethics, about, you know, subjective and objective ethics, and, you know, certain situations. And if you guys don't know the difference between subjective and objective is very important, first of all. The subjective is, you know, it changes. It's like there's an opportunity in which, you know, it might not be the case. You know, it's subjective to the certain circumstances. Objective means it's going to be the same all the time. So, in life, there's only a few circumstances or a few rules, in a sense, you know, ethical codes to live by that are important, that are completely objective. And this is very hard to find. You know, people would say, you know, do not murder, do not lie, do not cheat, do not steal. But you know, the same as the the whole Ten Commandments thing. You know, all those things. You know, do not covet another's wife, do not, you know, all that good stuff. But there's always a circumstance when that could make sense, when that could be justified. And, you know, the way people live in this time and age is people find a way to justify a lot of behavior that may not be, you know, kosher, may not be, you know, up to par in moral standards and whatnot. You could use so many circumstances as, you know, psychopaths that, you know, justify their killings based on, you know, some crazy change in the world that they want to see. You know, something like who is it, Charles Manson, or, you know, even something crazy like Adolf Hitler, who, you know, he got a lot of support in Germany for killing a lot of people. And it's just one of those things you can justify just about anything in any way. So what you're really looking for in an ethical code is something that is objective, something that cannot be justified either way and is always going to be true. And that's very difficult to find. And it sounds a little stupid, but the one rule that just about anybody could agree with, and you could really not find any argument with, is the golden rule. If you guys don't know what the golden rule is I don't know who started. It's probably some Jesus Christ guy came up with it. He probably said it. It's been passed along for years and years, ages and ages. And it's just one of those things. If the golden rule is do unto others as you would like done to yourself, you know. And as well as that is the negative. Do not do unto others as you would not like done to yourself. And it's really like, how could you argue with that? If you can understand, you know, what your actions are going to cause towards somebody else, and you would not like that done towards you, then don't do it to somebody else. Even if it's going to benefit you, even if it's going to give you all the pleasure in the world, all the money in the world, everything you could possibly ever want, if it's going to cause other people feelings of pain and anguish that you personally would not want in your life, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's going to ruin the day for everybody. And it's just one of those codes, you know, to live by. There's nothing that you can argue with, and there's no way that you could say that, you know, if I did this to somebody, but I wouldn't want it done to myself, but it's still okay to do it. There's no way that you could argue against that. I don't, if you guys could put it in the comments, an argument against that, I will completely blow you away, because you can't. It's just, that's the way of life, is like, if you are a normal, good person, an ethical person, that's what you would do. And in a way, that makes sense. And I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with that. And how it relates to Battlefield is very important. In certain circumstances, you'll see that come out, and that's probably, you can see that example in some of the ways that I play the game. For example, is something simple like, I don't like using guns that I've platinumed, and you could argue that maybe it's the perception that other people have of me, but it is that in a sense, that when they see my name pop up a level 50 with a platinum, VSS or platinum M95, oh, what a jerk, he's still using a platinum weapon. Because that's something that I don't like seeing when it happens. At the same time, somebody's circle strafing like a chopper whore, or just doing jerk moves. You may get some immediate amusement out of it. It may totally amuse you and totally entertain you for the time being. But in the long run of life, in the long run of the Battlefield game, it's gonna ruin things for everybody else. It's gonna ruin your life. You could argue karma, you could argue this and that, but it's not going to make you feel good. I mean, if you don't realize what you're doing, and you don't realize that how that's affecting other people, then you're just a completely ignorant person in the beginning, and there's a whole nother set of circumstances about ignorance, and ignorance is not bliss as much as some people think it may be. And it's just one of those things, there's so many circumstances in the Battlefield, like tank whoring, for example, like I used to whore up the tanks like crazy. It was a very important thing to use in the game, but at the same time, I eventually learned that it wasn't the best thing to do, so I decided that, maybe I'm going to stop tank whoring as much. And, I still do it. I still do use some platinum weapons sometimes, and it's, it's one of those things where I justify to myself, I platinumed all the sniper rifles, so what else am I going to use? You know what I mean? Like, there are certain times when there's, it's a subjective reality, it's like, I can only do so much to please everybody else. But it's keeping that in mind. It's keeping in mind that what I'm doing is affecting other people, and what I'm doing may upset other people, and what I'm doing I may not like done to myself. And as long as you can identify that issue and identify that situation, then making a smart decision, making an educated decision about continuing that activity or ceasing the activity is all that really matters. Like I said before, it's important to be fair to everybody and just to be a kind person in general. And the way to be kind and loving and all that mushy-gushy Christianity nonsense, there's something to it, guys. It's because, it has to do with living, a happy life and living a good life for the majority of people in the world. And, when I say this, you guys have to realize I'm using this as metaphors for the Battlefield community, because when you do certain things in the game of Battlefield, you use the USAS with the M2 Carl Gustav extra explosive upgrade, it's not going to make everybody else happy, and it's going to upset other people. And if that's your goal in life, is to upset other people, then get a fucking life, bro. Come on. If that's your goal in the game, is to upset other people by playing Battlefield, come on, bro. And I know, some people just do not understand what are upsetting to other people, but then it just takes that second. You guys have to realize that the cause, the actions that you're taking, and the effects that they may be having on other people, because it is very important to realize that. And that goes with Battlefield, and that goes with life. Is if you can understand, you can put yourself in somebody else's shoes for the moment, you'll think twice about your decisions. And that's all that life's about, is just, really making smart decisions and making everybody happy, and just, making the world a better place and making the Battlefield a better game for everybody involved. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any disagreements with my thoughts on the golden rule, if you think, I may have missed something, if I may have left something out, and, if you have any, life codes or moral codes that you think are very important, throw them out there in the comments below, and maybe we'll include them or talk about them in the next video in this series. So, let me know your thoughts on that, guys. Final score, like I said, above a 2.0. Get that ace pin, 18-7, keeping it real. Leon Trotsky, you know how we do. Till next time, guys.